Welcome back, Red Spotters, to the show here on Red Spotlight Entertainment. I'm your host today, Alexys J. Soto, and I'm joined by our good friends, Mr. Kyle Lira, back from the grave. How are you doing today? I am joined by Mr. Peter Martinez, who has refused to speak, and I'm also joined by Miss Alexys Moreno. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
That's great. Yeah, this is episode 231, and this is going to be our second part in our 4-part series of the films that made such big impressions on us when we were in between the ages of 0 and 12, like if that's a metric you want to use. Last episode, we went through Peter Martinez's deep cuts of his early life, which I'm sure gave you a good picture as the kind of person that he is. Anyway, today we are here with Alexys Moreno's
Star Wars:
turn.
The Phantom Menace. It explains everything.
It might as well. We are here with Alexis's turn to unveil her list of films. And of course, you know, we hold our collective breaths to see how many of those are of the Disney variety and which ones are not. Of course, it's perfectly fine if...
According to her, there was like only, what, 2, 3?
Three.
3?
How many movies do you got on the list?
11.
11 movies, okay. Well, without any further ado, this is the episode. Alexys, go ahead and reveal the films that you have. I'll be writing them down, so don't go super fast. And then when you're finished, if you have one that you already want to start talking about, if not, then Kyle will pick one. I'm sure Kyle apparently will like this list from what you say, so maybe he'll latch onto one.
No, she was being sarcastic, because I know which one she's going to put on there. And I've seen
Bits
like
and pieces.
40%. It's something else. It looks like it came out of hell itself, but we'll go.
That's a hell of a tease. Okay, I'm excited for this. Alexys, go ahead.
Okay.
And unveil your list.
So the first one is going to be the first X-Men movie.
Yay, X-Men 2000, as they say.
The Borrowers.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Another good one.
Alice in Wonderland.
So the 2000.
No, that's
Tim
past
Burton
the time.
directed.
That one doesn't exist. Sleeping Beauty. Nightmare Before Christmas. Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon?
Yeah. Grease.
Of course.
It is the word.
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka. Which one?
The first one.
The original?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one is
Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's right.
Excuse me.
The Hot Chick.
Okay.
Is Peter okay?
Rob Schneider's Hot Chick.
And then the last one is going to be... It's a Spanish movie, so it's called Santa Claus, but in Spanish. Santa Claus.
Okay. Let's talk about Grease first. Let's start off.
Beauty school dropout. Go back to high school.
Yeah.
Let me ask a very sexist question.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Why does every girl love Grease?
No.
Oh, you don't love Grease.
Grease is my favorite movie.
Okay, wait, but this
everybody else
Grease is the
just
word?
likes it.
Oh,
But Grease is my favorite movie. So
She's like fucking
Don't
Anton Ego. She's like,
compare.
if I don't like Grease, I don't consume
This
it.
is some elitist bullshit right here. Everyone else is just a fan. I'm a fanatic.
yes, and I fully stand by that.
Why?
Well, wait.
okay.
To the question at hand, though, before you answer why you love it, as a woman,
Speak for all women that have ever existed right now.
because that's the question that Peter asked you, right? So the sexism came from him, just to be clear about that. But it is an interesting question here. Why would you think that every single woman in existence likes this movie?
And that's a fact.
Well, that's Peter's claim. I don't know if it's a fact, although in my experience, it seems to be the case.
I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself.
No. You represent
Because
all
I
women
have met
who have ever
people
lived.
who don't like this movie.
Who?
So
Who?
I'm not.
Are they of the male variety?
No, well, yeah, they are, but like other
Well,
people,
there we go.
other people who are not male I know that don't like this movie and are just like,
Who are they? Give us their addresses.
oh my god.
We'll take names.
Social Security.
Anyways, I don't know. This is. I remember watching this movie when I first moved to Brawley. It was one of the movies that I had in VHS that I like had with me, and I was just like play it over and over and over again. And I remember I would watch it with my mom a lot. I had a birthday themed after Grease.
Did you wear like the pink?
It was yellow.
Oh, okay.
The what?
The skirt and
The
stuff.
pink ladies.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. And then this is also like one of the, like, I think the two movies that I can say got me into musicals is like the Cinderella movie, the Brandy version, but this one was like it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Les Miserables.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just really like this movie. I could, like, whenever it's on, I just leave it on and like nobody touched the remote. But yeah. But I think that's like the big thing. Like, it was just like a movie that I constantly watched when I first moved to Brawley, and it just like it was like that comfort type of thing. So, yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me more. I don't know. To me, it kind of feels like it like perfected that the high school movie, kind of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have the bad boy, you know, the smart girl. They come from two different worlds, but it's a romance. You have the music, and the music, you know, there's definitely a lot of bops. I think a lot of people love the like 50s aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
But then like most of the side characters get a lot of character stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kaneki, Rizzo,
yeah, and dealing with like different stuff, like, you know, high school and career, pregnancy,
Mm-hmm.
teen pregnancy.
Yeah. But it's also very like, it can deal with those heavy stuff, but it's really light and fun. Yeah, like, I get why people like it. I just like asking that question because I think it's funny.
It's funny because my dad he went, I think it was like with my grandma, or I don't know. They were gonna go watch this movie, and so they invited my grandpa. My grandpa is like typical like macho Mexican old man.
Wait, in the theaters?
Yeah.
When it came out?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, because this came out in like the 70s.
Yeah.
And they weren't sure that he was gonna like it because it's a musical, and they warned him beforehand. But he came out like loving this movie. And my dad like laughs every time he tells me, because it's so funny, because he's just like this, like, I don't know, like I said, like this macho Mexican guy, and he just loved this movie coming out, and he wouldn't. I think he was the reason why I have the vinyl, because I got it from my dad, but I think it was because my grandpa wanted it.
Wait, did he get the vinyl?
Yeah.
Well, I think Mexicans were pretty I don't know about greaser, but like at that time I the slick back hair and
the macho-ness and everything like that. It's very masculinated, especially with like the T-birds and everything like that. Also, with speaking of the vinyl, the vinyl sounds amazing. Like, it sounds crisp on vinyl. Like, I don't know what it's about it, but it's just like it sounds really good on it.
So wait, what did you do for your Grease party?
It was like a Pizza Hut or something, or like, I don't know what the fuck. I think it was at Pizza Hut, but like we just like decorated.
You should have had it at a diner, a 50s diner.
Corvette Diner.
I know.
They do birthday parties.
Well, because it was in Tijuana, because at that time a couple of my family members couldn't cross the border, so we had to have it there, and I don't think they have anything like that, at least to my knowledge. But yeah, I like dressed up, and then I kind of made like my cousins dress up and stuff.
You made them dress up.
Like little leather jackets. And,
no, it was
like
actually the skirts. I like the skirts more.
Yeah.
You didn't make them do a performance?
No.
Why not?
Cause no. We only did that for one movie, which was the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Wait, what?
Oh,
what did you do?
I don't know. We like sang like the last song, and no, we did when they were doing the runway. I did that for 2 movies, but it was like not performance. But I'll tell you when we get there.
I remember one of my first memories of you, Moreno, is we were in Mr. C's class, and we were paired up for a group project, like a duet, that kind of thing, and then we did Grease.
Yeah,
we did Grease.
Did you guys sing it?
No.
We did like
we just
scenes.
did 2 scenes.
I don't think I would have survived drama class. Holy shit!
I remember I like wrote down the script, and then we looked it up, and I think I missed like 2 words.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, from memory?
Like,
yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, this is what I mean. Like, this is my favorite movie. Like, I don't
know if you're about that life. That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Where's your Grease
Grease life?
Where's your Grease leather jacket?
I don't want that. I live in
with the embroidered
desert.
T-bird.
Why would I want a leather jacket? But yeah. Okay, what's next?
Wait, hold on. When was the year this movie came out?
1975?
Something.
75 or 76, I think.
So this, correct me if I'm wrong here, this predated the John Hughes era?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
John Hughes was 80s.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if Grease was 80s, early 80s or late 70s or around there.
Wait, I think it was, hold on.
It was before John Hughes. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing about the 70s, is that they were very nostalgic for the 50s. Like how we are now about the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that 90s nostalgia.
Dude, that's gonna be... I'm gonna live for that era.
I feel we're already seeing parts of it, you know, Rocko's Modern Life and all those Nicktoons that are getting revival movies. Like
I think
Invader
we are
Zim
in that, like the beginnings of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Rugrats is like they're like you see it at every Urban Outfitters. Like just
was the first season in the 80s or
89?
Really? Holy shit! I didn't realize how old
that was. The same
was.
year that was that the same year that The Simpsons premiered, 89?
Yeah.
No, what?
Rugrats, the first season of the Rugrats debuted in 89.
I had no idea that show was that old. That's crazy. I thought it was like 93 or some shit, or I don't know, but
and then it wasn't until like 6 or 7 years later than the movie that it debuted on the big screen and all that stuff, and it continued. It was like the longest running show until a little freaking yellow square showed up on the scene. But it was a good run that the Rugrats had. It was a little bit of Nickelodeon history for you, everyone.
When it comes to that movie, you know what Peter said about it definitely, I think, began what led up to, you know, the John Hughes films of the 80s, which were like 16 Candles, Breakfast Club,
Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink.
Right, Pretty in Pink.
It's funny because I don't like most of those movies except Pretty in Pink.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the same thing though.
Also,
that's the like, the smart girl, the bad boy.
James Spader.
Yeah, James Spader.
Dude, he's so cool in that movie. I love him.
There was someone that was like more famous though, or maybe not more famous, but like his friend that was an asshole. Who was that actor?
Huh?
His like rich friend in Pretty in Pink.
Which? Oh, the guy from 2.5 Men.
No.
John Cryer.
Oh,
that's John Cryer.
I'll look it up because you guys are no help.
Okay, so it's interesting because a big part of Grease is the music. This might make you explode, but if you had to pick one song that you liked the best of that movie, what would it be?
I think Summer Nights.
Yeah, that's the one that kind of gets grating after like 2 times.
That one or
sings that fucking song.
The one at the drive-in. I really like that one.
Standing in the drive-in.
I miss driving.
I think the best one is still Grease. If not, what was the other one? Hopelessly Devoted to You.
Oh yeah, that one's really good too. I mean, they're all great.
But yeah.
You know.
Not You're the One That I Want.
You're the one that I want.
You are what I want.
That's the problem with bops, is they're great, but it gets to a point where you want to kill yourself.
What would you know about
if
bops?
You hear it, like,
well, Grease Lightning? Holy shit, Grease Lightning is so good. Also, like, it's so shocking, like, how, like, Moreno, like, I had the same background, you know, as you with Grease, like, having the tape and everything like that. I'm surprised our parents let us watch a musical with words like pussy wagon.
I remember we used to go to that place like by where the pool is, by like behind Warner Field. Yeah,
the Warner Brothers lot.
Yeah. They used to have like
the Lion Center.
Yeah, I think they used to have like summer stuff like in there, like you could sign up and then you would go
summer day camp.
Yeah. I remember they didn't put Grease on one time, like because they're like, oh no, it's bad. And I'm like, but I watch it all the time.
But why?
Yeah. So that was funny. But then I got mad because I was like, but I want to watch Grease.
Yeah, like, Grease Lightning is like a very phallic metaphor song.
A lot of things are in our culture. I mean, we just got to get used to it. It seems like, you know, I've always wondered what about this movie was, you know, because the longevity of it is, you know, iconic in every sense of the word. And it is a very, like most iconic, legendary movies, it is a very simple story. But I think the kind of movies that fascinate me the most, especially when it comes to a musical, is people that revile having to listen to any kind of like sung lyrics for whatever reason in film, really love this movie. Like, what can it be explained, do you think, why it is that people who are like predisposed to hate this kind of genre love it so much, and even to this day? Is it just as simple as the music is that great?
I mean, I think so. And then, like, I don't know who said it, like, the whole storyline of just, like, you know, like, the guy getting the girl, the good girl, this and
right.
that. I think... I honestly think John Travolta had a lot to do with it. I mean, I wasn't there at the time that it came out, but I feel like that could be it.
You sure? Because, I mean, you do look it.
Because Saturday Night Fever was like, I think Grease was like right after that, and like that was a huge movie. And I mean, and look at that. I thought it
was right before.
No, because I think Saturday Night Fever was his first one. And like right. That one has music too, and it's not like a whole lot like musical and stuff, but
and that soundtrack alone too is also iconic.
Mm-hmm. So I think it was like a mix of that. I don't know. The only thing I like never truly found out is I don't know if it was an original musical or if it was already a stage musical, which might have an impact too. I'm not sure.
It was already an original musical. It was already running for, I think, 6 years.
Okay.
I think it's like in the vein of like what In the Heights is, like, because now it's become a musical, and it's a recent hit mm-hmm. enough to be made into a movie. Mm-hmm. A lot of the songs are absent from the original music, like the song Grease itself is not in the original musical. Mm-hmm. Hopelessly Devoted was written specifically because they got Olivia Newton-John, who was a pop singer at the time, and they put that song in there. And You're the One That I Want was not a original in the thing. So I don't know, it had like its big impact. It's gonna be looked on. It's looked on like how Stranger Things, I feel, would be looked on 2 decades from now, just from like how it is in history and what it looks like, you know, in terms of like the big impact that it has on pop culture.
Remind me again, who owns Grease? What film studio?
Paramount
has the rights. Paramount. How much longer until a reboot is attempted?
No.
Well, they've kind of done so.
A film. I know they've done other stuff on networks, but like a film reboot.
It'll be a sequel
with just modern actors.
There's already a sequel.
They'll bring back all the original cast, and they'll be the older parents, and it'll be a modern day, but it'll be the same movie.
But how can it be a sequel when Danny and Sandy died? Oh wait, that's the film theory.
Oh my god. They did it because there's a sequel.
So anyways. So Dumbo was your other movie.
Oh my god. I actually didn't watch that one till later.
Alice in Wonderland. It's another big thing. Why Alice in Wonderland? What is it about it that drives you? I mean, it's still very like part of your aesthetic.
It's an interesting question too about that film because just to be clear, and I'm not even aware about I know Alexys has always loved that movie, and because she's always, you know, the pictures with the characters Alice and the White Rabbit. I think of the White Rabbit, or was it the
White Rabbit,
or the what's it called, the Mad Hatter, maybe, at the meet and greets at Disney. But I wasn't never aware of you, Kyle, or Peter. Like, do you guys like, before we get to Alexys, but do you guys like consider that to be like top tier Disney?
I'm glad you asked, because I actually put out an entire tier list with which you completely and utterly ignored.
And that's why I'm asking you, Peter, to give you a little bit of opportunity to make sure people know that you actually did something. So you're welcome.
Okay, so do you remember where I put it?
No.
I didn't look at it.
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I didn't look at it.
There was a lot of movies on there.
It was ignored.
Okay, then
I
fuck
didn't
you.
ignore it.
That's my answer then.
Okay, and Kyle,
Wait,
what
where'd
about
you
you?
put
Was
it?
it
I
ever one of your
want to know.
favorites? Now you want to know.
You piece of shit. I sent it like twice, and none of you looked at it.
I did, but it's been a while. There's a lot of movies.
Oh my god.
It's like
Peter.
58 now.
Peter, just to let you know, because it's so buried in all of Alexis's links, I probably didn't get the chance to see it. So I'm sorry, but I am intrigued to look at it.
The list again, for the love of God, you know. Maybe it'd be nice every once in a while, the way I send you guys a shit ton of stuff. Maybe if you actually looked at any of the stuff I sent, that would be really, really cool, you know? That's kind of the whole point.
Ditto. Now, Kyle, was it ever one of your favorites?
Yes and no. I always liked the story of Alice in Wonderland. I was
What? You put Fantasia up on top? Sorry.
I think that's the bottom. That's pretty bottom tier. Like, Fantasia is one of the most... Okay, I'm not gonna...
It's S tier,
Kyle.
bitch.
It's just not...
Look at my list, because it's definitive. It is fact.
I knew Lewis Carroll's story before Disney's
Hipster.
Story. But that doesn't mean I loved it any less. I really liked it. I remember seeing it as a kid. I first watched it in daycare of all places. So yeah. It wasn't really a staple of my childhood like Moreno's, like Peter Pan was to me, because Peter Pan was a huge thing in my childhood. But I see where Moreno's coming from though with Alice in Wonderland. It is a really wacky adventure.
I mean, for sure, when I was little, I liked the colors. I liked all the different characters. Like that was because there's videos of me. I'm like 1 or 2 years old, like watching this movie. So that for sure was like part of it. Which, yeah, I think what Kyle said is true. It's like that aspect of the movie, like the wackiness and stuff, is like ingrained in my head. 'Cause I feel like that's, I don't know, like if you see my room, like it's very colorful and stuff like that. So I don't know. But I think just later on, the whole like escapism and stuff like that, I think that's what kept me going back to this movie. And just like that she's just a very like naive character. I don't know.
I wouldn't say naive. I'd say she needs to sit her ass down and read that book. It's to listen to authority.
But yeah, I don't know. This is just like a movie that I would watch all the time also. I know I've like said this like 1,000 times, but like at the Rugrats birthday party,
you had a Rugrats birthday party?
Yeah. And it was well, because mine and my brother's birthday were like 13. We're like 2 years apart, but our birthdays are 13 days apart. So my mom had it together, and she like it was like with like the salons and all that stuff.
Did you all wear diapers and shit?
What?
I asked, did you guys wear diapers and shit?
No, but like the decoration was like Rugrats. But there's like a picture of like our living room, and it's like filled with like presents and stuff. And all I want is I got like a handmade Alice dress, and like that's all I wanted. and you see there's another picture of like my grandma like showing it to me for the first time, and me going to Disneyland and meeting Alice, and I'm wearing the dress and I'm like almost in tears and like
almost. I mean,
it probably wasn't great for you to be almost in tears, because I mean it's pretty easier to drive you to tears. I don't know.
That's true. I probably cried after. I don't know.
I mean, all of you were bawling at the end of freaking Onward. Okay, I mean,
because that's so sad. It's not sad, but it's moving.
That's what I mean.
But yeah, I don't know. I just really like this movie.
Go ahead, Peter.
If you want to know how I feel about that movie, go ahead and check out my list.
I mean, it's pretty high, so I'm fine with that.
Okay.
You know what? I actually I did look at it now that I watched it. Sure. I remember why. But listen, now I remember why I blocked it out, because it was full of shit. It was such full of shit. I completely erased that from my memory, because really, Fantasia? Really?
How is this?
Okay, I mean,
okay.
Talk about being bored to death. Now, first of all,
and you say I hate music.
Peter.
Holy shit. Okay.
Peter, I love classical music, so that shit is up my bag.
This is the guy who claims I hate music, but he's here shitting on Fantasia.
Now, listen. Alice in Wonderland is an interesting film in that it
needs to be pop music.
Oh my god.
You know, it's very... What?
That it needs to be pop music. But what were you gonna say?
The anthology-like nature of it, because there really isn't much of a narrative at hand with Alice in Wonderland, you know? And that always kept me at arm's length. It never really kept my interest. I always liked the designs and the personalities of the characters. But the more and more it kept going deeper into the rabbit hole, you know, no pun intended there, because of the movie, and, you know, they go down a rabbit hole there. But the less and less I could pay attention to it, and it just was, I don't know, I think the one time I ever saw it, I was kind of like driven to insanity.
Sounds like Joker.
Yeah. Except I watched that more than once for whatever reason.
Real quick.
Yeah. It's an interesting film. Yeah.
First of all, fuck you. My list is fact. Second of all, Alice in Wonderland, for all who curious, is A-tier Disney. I think it's really, really great. I love the simplicity of it. I feel like it understood Alice in Wonderland the way Tim Burton never could, which is that, like, the point.
But I feel like all the stars aligned with this movie, because this is like the one movie that Walt Disney wanted to make.
Yeah,
like,
that was really his passion project.
Yeah.
But like the whole point of it is that it doesn't make sense. It's like silly nonsense for most of the time, and trying to like fit in a narrative into it is kind of dumb. But also like, because there is no real narrative, you know, some people roll with it and some won't. But nah, I really like it. So, yeah.
I do too. I think it also, like, because I really liked The Wizard of Oz when I was little, and I think it just kind of reminded me of that a little bit. I think that's why I also liked it. I don't know. There's just, like, a lot of things that I can say that as to why I like this movie. But, yeah. Even, like, watching, like, other, like, I guess retellings of the story. I don't know if you guys ever watched that, movie with Whoopi Goldberg where she's the Cheshire Cat.
No.
That one's freaking creepy.
That sounds terrifying.
But like that one's wild. I don't know. But like, I think all of like the Alice in Wonderland stories or whatever they do with it, like, except for Tim Burton, it's interesting. I don't know.
Like, there's so many things you could do with Alice in Wonderland that's fascinating, because there's like no point to the story, and that's the point. Like, what is the Queen of Hearts' main ambition of why she wants everybody dead?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's just the way that her mind works, you know, and it's just like these different things that, you know, the Cheshire Cat, what's his deal? Nobody knows. Who cares?
Yeah, I think that's where Tim Burton got it wrong. Like, I think he was trying to make it have a purpose, and it's like, no.
It's almost kind of a miracle that Disney was able to pull it off as well as it is. And I think what was key was to not focus so much on a narrative, because then you're kind of forcing it into something it just wasn't.
Yeah.
In kind of a way how a lot of people, like I think Lindsay Alice, I think in her video of Cats, would say that, you know, the stage production of that film, it doesn't lend its. I mean, I'm sorry, the stage production of Cats, the original Cats, didn't necessarily lend itself at all to be part of a movie, because there just isn't much of a narrative. Yeah. It's just a bunch of cats dancing and singing, and you lose a lot of that when you're not in a Broadway theater. And then,
however, she did make the argument that it could have worked in an animated setting.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's also interesting to note that there was like a bunch of different directors for this movie, which is why it is the way that it is. So.
And it's kind of a movie that, you know, kind of needed multiple directors and multiple takes, because like it's zany in nature, and you needed that. And also, like, talk about voice acting. Catherine Beaumont's voice acting in the movie is really...
I mean, are you kidding? Oh, and that whole birthday scene was recorded on the spot, and they animated around the recording, like the test recording. This is wild.
He was kind of like Robin Williams before Robin Williams did his thing as the genie. It's completely amazing. Also, it's like Disney at its prime, animated prime as well, because you have like the 9 old men. They're still working at the studio, and you have like the different things. Walt is still in charge, and plus this is where he began his career with making the Alice cartoons. Yeah. So like this is kind of like a match made in heaven for any Disney fan, really. What else? The Borrowers.
Oh, The Borrowers. That one's funny because I hadn't seen that one in a while, and then I rewatched it. There's so many actors in that movie, like Harry Potter actors.
I remember the poster.
The thing that I remember most about that movie is the milk.
Yeah.
It was weird, but
John Goodman is scary in that movie.
Yeah. This movie was what I think Mousetrap was to Peter. I don't know why we kept going back to this movie. Like, I'm not saying that the milk part was like good, like that actually grossed me out. But I don't know, it was just like a weird, kooky movie.
It's like the set pieces are really, really interesting because like it's all practical. First of all, it's all practical. They used like little mini figures to like replicate the movement and then do the ladder in post. But like it's so like it's one of the last of its kind, really. John Goodman is terrifying, as I mentioned before, but also like how star-studded the cast is, especially knowing now. I mean, we have Tom Felton in his first role. For those who don't know, he plays Draco Malfoy. Jim Broadbent is in the movie as well. I mean, it's just like this weird. Oh, my homeboy Hugh Laurie.
Oh, yeah. When I rewatched it, I was just like, well, because at the time, obviously, like, Harry Potter wasn't a thing. So, like, when I rewatched it recently for this, they just kept mentioning names, and I'm like, oh, he's from Harry Potter. Oh, he's from Harry Potter. It was fucking weird.
Yeah. Why did you say that it's the mouse hunt?
Well, because I shouldn't say that. I'm just assuming. But I remember watching Mousetrap, but for some reason, the Borrowers was, like, always, like, two, like, those two were just, like, ones that we would kind of go back and forth, but we would always choose the Borrowers. So it's just kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know, we just watched it a lot. When I was making the list, I kept asking David for help, because I was like, I don't know, like, I know we watched a lot of movies, but, like, I also just, like, kind of didn't remember the names. I was just trying to get ideas. And we kind of figured out that a lot of the movies on my list, and maybe on his list too, are just, like, weird, quirky, like, wacky movies. And this kind of, I think, fits with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, on your list, there's a theme. Like, The Borrowers is weird and wacky. Pee-wee's Big Adventure,
a couple of them are weird and wacky. But then maybe some that are just like, what the fuck?
Well, I know which ones you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Behind it. There is a story
I
behind
assume
it.
so.
Yeah, so
I assume they borrowed a lot, so.
They did borrow a lot. It's based off a children's story. Studio Ghibli did a movie based on that story.
Oh, yeah.
The Secret World of Arrietty. Yeah. Which I saw, and it was actually a nice little movie. It ain't The Borrowers, but who we judging? It's very orange tinted too.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
I've never watched a Studio Ghibli film in my entire life.
Oh my god. Oh.
Maybe that's what. Maybe we should do the reverse to the table and have you watch the Studio Ghibli films.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard good things about them, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow. Okay. Spirited Away. Fuck you then. All right. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Speaking of weird and quirky.
Man. Okay. This one is not a good one. This movie, when I was little, freaked me out. Like, it scared the crap out of me. This was David's, like, Alice in Wonderland when he was little. So, meaning I would watch it a lot because of him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But, I don't know, I freaking hated this movie. Like, I think it's so, like, it's too weird. It's creepy. Like, Pee-wee creeps me out. There's, like, this like, scary clown scene that I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know.
Okay, does Pee-wee Herman scare you, or Paul Rubens scare you?
No, Pee-wee scares me.
Okay. Hey, it was kind of filmed in our backyard at Cabazon. There's that one scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've been there.
I always think of that, like, but yeah, I don't know. This movie was fucking weird.
It's weird, and it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, where it's like,
yeah.
There ain't no fucking story. Well, there's the loosest of stories where, like, what was it? He wanted his bike back.
Yeah.
But it's an excuse for him just to meet all kinds of different wacky people and go on a wacky adventure and do wacky shit. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen this, but Beavis and Butthead Do America. The whole reason why they cross the country is to find their old TV set, but it's just an excuse for Beavis and Butthead to do weird shit. Yeah. You know?
They were trying to score.
But they couldn't. They were trying to... I'm not going to get into that.
So you liked this one a lot as a kid?
No.
No?
No, I didn't.
You would just watch it?
Yeah, because like I said, it was David's favorite movie when he was little. Like, he had two big movies, which was this one and My Little Vampire.
I remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I remember that one being pretty good at the time. Like
that's a really good movie. But Pee-wee, he would just always put it on, and it would freak me out, and I hated it.
How did it impact you? Like, just it being weird and fucked up?
I think it just kind of set up the whole me being scared of fucking everything.
So this is where the root of the problems are.
But yeah, this was like my version of a horror film. My first horror film.
It wasn't that bad.
It was.
There's worse films I can think of.
Well, I know, but like me as a child,
it was weird, but I don't remember it being like.
You don't remember the clown scene?
No.
I think they were like in an ambulance or something, and
is this Pee-wee or Big Top Pee-wee?
Pee-wee, the movie,
the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And I don't even know what they're doing, but they're doing something with the bike. Because, like, that's what he's doing. Like, he's looking for his bike.
Yeah, that's this whole thing.
And it's just, like, clowns, like, everywhere. And he's just, like, freaking out. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I hate this.
Pee-wee had a few run-ins with the circus. The Big Top Pee-wee was just him being in a circus community.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just saying the funniest thing about that movie to me was the fucking kid that, like, hates him. But he's not a kid. Yeah. He's like a grown man. But he acts like an 8-year-old bully who's like, my father has more money. And it's just like, what the fuck? I thought that shit's funny to me. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just freaking creepy to me. But I had to endure torture from watching it all the time. But it's fine.
Speaking of creepy, let's talk about...
No, let's do that one last, because I feel like... Because nobody besides you knows that one.
Okay. The other creepy, Nightmare Before Christmas.
That trash piece of film.
This was like the first movie that I got into... That got me into, like... filmmaking.
Okay.
So yeah, and I just watched it a lot.
So far, we're 2 for 2 on the rankings list of all of us. In terms of
I was gonna say,
impact.
What films so far do we have similar? Is it only A Nightmare?
Okay, Nightmare Before Christmas is on both of your lists.
Is that the only one?
That's the only thing similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Although I will say,
I mean, there's
one
similar
that I could
themes.
put on the list because I really loved it as a kid. That you do have, and I still think it's just amazing. But we haven't talked about it yet, so when we get there. But yeah, this is a film. Me too. As a kid, I look at it and I'm like, how did they make this shit? And just the idea.
What does it look that way?
The idea of stop motion was just so incredible to me. And I remember trying to do stop motion with my Bionicles. Do you guys remember Bionicles?
Yeah.
Those are great.
Like
that kind of dates us a little bit.
Yeah. But I tried doing it, and it just looks like a picture slideshow of my Bionicles. It sucked. I was like, this is hard. Fuck this. But it made me appreciate the movie even more because it's like, fuck, like, it's crazy. You see it a lot. Like, there's a lot of really good behind the scenes shit too with like Coraline, where they're they knitted each sweater, and then you see like this tiny ass sweater, and then like them knitting it with little needles and shit. Like everything you see is handmade, and they'll say like the flowers popping up is like half a ball, and then they like stick things and pop it up, and It's incredible. And like I said, when I did mine, like The Nightmare Before Christmas, I love it. It's just so magical to me. It's it's awesome.
Yeah.
And also, like, the script supervisor's job must be a fucking nightmare trying to keep all the continuity together. Trying to do that, because, like, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a show on Disney Plus called Prop Culture, in which they dealt with some props from Nightmare Before Christmas.
I freaking love that episode. I freaked out when Danny Elfman came out. Like, freaked out.
And he said that if it wasn't
like to do with why I like it too. I'm a huge like Oingo Boingo fan. So when I found out that he was the voice, I was like, what the fuck? I love it.
I mean, there is some weird science in the movie. But Nightmare Before Christmas, like, they explain like how, like, it sounds stupid, but making the footprints in the snow was such like an intricate detail that they had to do to make it look right and have the whole template of everything fit well into the world. And
plus, again, that music. All that. What's this?
Yeah.
What's this?
That music.
Something in the air.
It slaps. What's your favorite song from Nightmare Before Christmas?
That one.
Moreno. That one.
Kidnap Mr. Sandy Claus. They're just like,
dude, do you guys
Santa
remember?
Claus.
Do you guys remember the Jack 2 Pack soundtrack that came out with all these like celebrities, rock stars that would cover all this? Like Marilyn Manson would do "This Is Halloween" and Korn did "Kidnap the Santa Claus."
No, I did not remember.
No,
that. No.
It's pretty good. It's worth the listen, I think. Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. Willy Wonka.
Ooh,
you have
this was awesome.
Just real quick,
what?
You have 2 Tim Burton films.
I do.
Jokes.
Oh yeah, Pee-wee.
Pee-wee, yeah.
Oh, Alexys.
But you despise one of them, so I guess that doesn't count.
Do you have anything to say about Nightmare Before Christmas?
There was a lot of Tim Burton, right? Because like you had Tim Burton involved in Nightmare Before Christmas. No, he didn't direct it firsthand. There's Willy Wonka, but not that version of Willy Wonka. There's Alice in Wonderland, but not that version of Alice in Wonderland. And then
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
He looms over your list, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely there's like hit and misses with Tim Burton, but I think he's like my favorite director because there's also just like movies that he's done that I completely love. Like Big Fish is one of my absolute favorite movies like ever.
It's awesome. It's a really
it's so I don't know.
I think he fits into how Peter described it. I think it must have been in his episode a few weeks back. Like Tim Burton is one of those that develops a visual style to all of his movies, and you can just tell when you're looking at a Tim Burton movie. Even in films like Miss Peregrine, which I've never seen, but I've seen the posters or whatever of that, and it's like that's just like Tim Burton.
This is kind of sad to say, but he's someone that I think just completely lost it.
Oh, I know.
Like he hasn't made a good movie in
a while.
Easily over a decade.
I think the last one must have been Frankenweenie, right? Didn't he direct that movie?
Yeah, okay. But everyone forgets Frankenweenie too.
I know, it's so sad.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the live action original short movie?
Yes.
It came with the Blu-ray of A Nightmare Before Christmas. So that's how I saw it, and this was way before the Frankenweenie movie came out.
It had Shelley Duvall and Daniel Stern.
That was like his that was like his passion project. Like,
oh my god! Did you guys ever see his short Vincent?
Yes.
I love it.
No,
I love it so much. He made it. So it was a short, I think, for Disney, and they're like, "This is good, but we can't fucking use this. Like, it's really dark." And it's narrated by Vincent Price, and it's about this kid named Vincent, and it's it's basically Tim Burton as a kid, where he's like, he over exaggerates everything, and he's like, he likes dark things, and it's like through his eyes, and his mom's just like, go outside and play. What the fuck are you doing inside? Reading Edgar Allan Poe and shit. But no, it's really good. It's good. I really like that one.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. Mm-hmm. I think what ruined it was when he got divorced.
Do you think what's her name, Helena Bonham Carter? She stole his genius. No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, for me, it kind of just started with like Alice in Wonderland. Yeah,
but that one was like difficult because I mean, I had like really high expectations for that movie.
I did too, because it was a match made in heaven.
Yeah,
but it's that fucking.
Nope.
Apparently not.
I remember like getting the news that this movie was like gonna be made.
I think
I was at the fair. And I like almost cried, and like the people that I was with were just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm just, I couldn't even speak. I was like, "This is happening."
I remember the character posters that they released, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is so cool." I remember seeing the character posters for like Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter the first time, and like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, and then the movie came out.
Now what was high school like for you, Alexis? It seems like there's a lot of stories where like you get so excited about some movie news and everybody just like treats you like a fucking outcast, and it's like, how is it that you didn't like come across me or Kyle? Because like I think we've always
probably avoided you guys like the plague.
Oh my god!
No, that was you. Unfortunately.
Me? How did I avoid you? Okay, never mind.
I just didn't talk to anybody. I mean, I feel like that may be why, because I just like, I don't know.
Well, you had no one to talk about this with, right? No one really cared.
Susan,
I think
she doesn't judge me, but like everybody else was just kind of like, the fuck.
Like Peter.
What do you mean, like me?
Nothing.
I'm being bullied.
Yeah, like you would think like Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton, they're both like very quirky properties, you know, and I'm calling Tim Burton his brand of a property. You would think that the two would marry so well, but like it didn't, unfortunately, and neither did its unfortunate sequel that came out.
But what sucks is
actually,
if Alice in Wonderland, I think if he made it just a few years earlier, it would have been amazing. I really do think by the time he made that movie, he just kind of lost it.
What was the movie he made directly before? Was it that Johnny Depp, what was it? The musical.
Sweeney
Todd.
Yeah. That was really good.
I love that movie. Oh my god.
It was really good. It was a dark musical, but it was really good. And the performances, the writing, like it looked great. And then he went immediately from that to...
Wasn't it... Coraline came after that.
He didn't make...
I know he didn't direct it.
Coraline with Coraline.
Oh, no?
Mm-mm.
I thought he had like
Henry Selick.
Or like a producer.
Henry Selick, who directed Nightmare, did Coraline for Leica.
He didn't even produce it. He had nothing to do with Coraline.
I thought he did.
He didn't even touch that movie with a 10-foot pole.
Because Sweeney Todd was 2007.
And then wasn't it 2008 or 2010?
2010.
The movie came out 2010, Alice in Wonderland.
He got his Oscar, then lost it. I don't know.
And even
did it win an Oscar?
Dude, even the trailers looked like fantastic. Mm-hmm. Like the way that it was like edited.
Didn't it win an Oscar?
For like, I guess like
effects,
I'll look it up. I'll be the one to look it up this time.
I don't know. It was just it was very disappointing. I mean, it was like
I think that might have been the beginning of the end for Tim Burton. That was a collapse.
Disappointment.
He had a slight uptick with Frankenweenie, but he has not made, other than Frankenweenie, he has not made I think a single good movie since then.
what looked really promising was like this movie was in development hell. He was supposed to make a stop motion.
Oh my god! Imagine this
Addams Family movie.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to do that, and he was like he got his he got the producers that he worked with and writers from Nightmare Before Christmas. It was supposed to be like a return to form with him.
I loved Corpse Bride too.
Corpse Bride
is really good. I like that.
But that was I was the only one.
But I don't know. I think Addams Family and Tim Burton could be a really well made match.
It says here Sweeney Todd received 3 Oscar nominations at the 80th Academy Awards. The nominations were Best Actor for Johnny Depp, Best Achievement in Costume Design, and Best Achievement in Art Direction. That's a category that doesn't exist anymore. But it won that Oscar for Art Direction, and that was it. It also won, I think, a couple of Golden Globes. So
but I mean,
kind of awards,
that's pretty darn big for a film.
Yeah, Yeah.
So Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah, we were on
this is the one that I think I was saying earlier. This is the one I think is incredible and I adore. Yeah.
No argument here. It's honestly magic in a bottle. That's ironically one of the few classic movies that for whatever reason just seeped through the classic filter in my childhood for whatever reason, and I did see this one, and it was, I think, a relative of mine's favorite film. So, and I saw it, and yeah, it's all of, I think, what Alexys will say and more, but it's the kind of movie that you're great to have experienced it while being a kid. Mm-hmm. Like, I really wished I would have seen Wizard of Oz, like the actual Wizard of Oz when I was a kid, and experienced that. But yeah, Willy Wonka is just, and it works so well when you have such characters that really appeal to. It's got a lot of heart. I think is what's key to the movie.
Magical. I think that's another film that I just think is so magical. And again, the music, fucking, because I've got a golden ticket. I've got a golden ticket in my hand. It's great. And then I love that
Oompa-loompas.
You're like, are those kids dead? I don't know. Who gives a fuck? I love that shit.
They really don't address that at all. Like, that wouldn't happen in a commercial movie today. That would just not, because that would be too much of an innuendo.
I mean, they remade it, and they
had to show that they lived. Yeah. But with the old one, Willy Wonka's like, they shouldn't have been shitty people then. Oh well, moving on. And it's like, damn, okay.
Also, we should be clear, because we talked about Tim Burton. He did make bad movies before he collapsed entirely.
Yeah, but I'm just...
There were some bad films there.
I don't know. I still feel like I know a lot of people don't like his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it's not good. But there is something there to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would watch that more than I think... Peregrines, or what was the other one he made, or Dumbo?
Oh god, those just feel.
I forgot he made Dumbo.
Those feel like the new ones. Just feel like he's an armchair director. Like he goes, sits in his chair, like okay, shoot everything. Mm-hmm. Let's get out of here early, like that kind of shit. Like he doesn't care. But his older bad films.
To be fair, he's reached the status where he doesn't have to. He can do that and get away with it. Like, that's
I don't know anymore
now.
though.
That's what
I mean, there's a
yeah. He needs to.
Disney keeps giving him movies. Like Dumbo came out last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, it was a flop.
It's just so Hot Topic has fresh merchandise.
But he doesn't even provide them with merchandise anymore.
I don't know. He may just have high friends in high places.
I mean, yeah.
You know, he keeps finding work.
But I don't know. I just wish he would give a shit again. Because I really, really like his movies.
Yeah.
So the blame is Helena Bonham Carter?
Oh, hell yeah. She stole his talent in the dead of night and then left him. She's a succubus.
By the way, I love her. So, yeah.
I know, that's why. She's twice as talented now.
Hey.
And actually, it's weird because this year I think she won Screen Actors Guild Award, I think, for The Crown.
Oh, well, there you go.
Netflix. So she's winning now accolades. She put a curse or something.
She's an actual witch.
Yeah. No, but Willy Wonka, I mean, again, it goes back to just being a kooky movie, colorful movie. There's kind of a theme.
Okay, there's one thing about the movie that everybody says is like so scary and freaky and everything like that. The tunnel sequence.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Couldn't it accidentally trigger a seizure?
Back then, they didn't give a shit, though.
Okay, because I know that if it was today, that would have been like a big...
The studio would have been like, we don't want to kill... Well, actually, I don't know, because freaking Incredibles 2 almost gave me a seizure, and I don't even have anything.
What was it called? The Screen Slayer or Slayer?
The Screen Slayer, the whole thing. So maybe they would like put a sign like, if you have any issues, don't watch this movie.
Well, when I went to go see The Incredibles, they put a sign like, may cause seizures. So
people don't read signs.
But
let's be honest,
what really sells that scene is freaking Gene Wilder. Yeah, not to
I mean, he's like
going.
The whole movie.
Rowing where the boat is rowing. It's a good scene. Yeah. I think he's like, in terms of like acting, this is like one of the best.
Yeah.
Like,
another thing, I think this one was kind of the art form of like set pieces and setting design and all that. Like, man. Again,
real quick though, just for context, as I forget, what was the year this came out? Was it the 70s?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
I
thought it was, but yeah.
Some 1970s love over here.
But yeah, I mean, this movie is just great. I love this movie so much. This one is a tragic story in my life. I had the VHS, and then one day I just never found it. I don't know what happened to it, and I couldn't watch it anymore.
It's a lost tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. You sure nobody just... Were you watching it like nonstop and somebody just like removed it from your bit? Because that could be, from what you seem to indicate, you really ran through a lot of tapes.
Well, because that was like what me and David would do all the time. We watched them. That was just
over and over and over again.
I know from personal experience, you gotta take care of that shit because it'll pop out, and then all the freaking the black film is all it's all fucked up. I've put so many VHSs back together back in the day because the VHS player would just take them in and then chew it and spit it out, and it's like, holy shit, So yeah,
I could picture little Peter in the corner of a room, just like with the little tool, just rolling it back up. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Mean Monster didn't mean to do that.
I saved my Phantom Menace VHS, okay?
And this is Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Willy Wonka. Have they ever done anything like... Have they ever explored like a theme park experience opportunity with this movie, considering, the factory and the locales and the environment that it takes place in?
I don't know.
I remember reading somewhere when I was deep in my research, because I was like going through like nostalgic things and like one of those things. Anyway, I looked at Universal Studios and like planned attempted things, and they were trying to do like a Chocolate River ride.
Really?
At one point in development, but it went nowhere. Like they talked about it, and it was like kind of like a talk about it. Let it sit for like a month and then put it on the shelf.
This is completely off topic. I don't know if you guys have talked about this. I think this would be a good idea for a show.
You're writing them up a lot these days.
Yeah, I'm the idea guy. Yeah, okay? I'm not saying we do it right now.
Okay, you're an idea. You're an idea. Great.
I'm the Jared Leto of this group. God damn it. I will send you all rats in the mail.
That's nice.
a show where it's like what if you could create a theme park
experience for a movie,
properties that aren't theme parks, you know what I mean? Like if you could make a Willy Wonka, yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting because Universal has had a simpatico relationship with Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers only has, I think, Six Flags, right? And that's where they have the Looney Tunes characters. And Six Flags is almost exclusively like a roller coaster theme park, not so much anything else. And Universal has a huge library of things. We've always talked about how they've gotten rid of attractions like Back to the Future or Jurassic Park or E.T. or
those are their big
so
films
many of those
too,
things.
So it's like
right, and they've been replaced mostly in Hollywood because of the lack of space. But with Orlando, and you've already shared the photo of a Nintendo attraction or experience coming pretty soon. There's a lot of potential. I feel like if you just think of the Warner Brother potential or the Warner Brother properties, that because they do work a lot with Universal and like giving them license to use them in theme parks, there's a lot there to work with.
Harry Potter is a huge thing in Universal, like huge. Also,
and even though the movies are long dead, apparently it's still great in the theme parks.
Also, like when it comes to like Hollywood Horror Nights, Halloween Horror Nights, sorry. By
the way, guys, isn't it almost going to be 10 years since the last Harry Potter movie came out? Deathly Hallows Part 2?
Yeah. 2011, I think.
Okay. Was it 2011 or 2012?
2011.
Wow. Okay.
It would have been a decade, almost a decade since Harry Potter last graced our presence on the big screen. And yes, I'm discounting other things. But yeah, Willy Wonka, I like it. Gene Will, good thing. I was not aware that this was a movie. Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah, it's the first. I
wasn't aware that there was a movie.
It's a show.
It is a show, but there's multiple movies. The one that I'm talking about specifically is called Sailor Moon the movie. I mean, I don't know. I loved Sailor Moon when I was little. Still today, it's my favorite anime. It's the only anime that I watch. So.
Tell why.
Wait. Let's go back here. That's the only anime you've ever seen?
Well, no. I mean, I
or that you like?
That I like. Because, like, I've watched others, but this is, like, the one that I always go back to.
So this is an interesting opportunity to really pick Peter's brain. Because I think people really let this slide, I think.
You let this slide?
A few minutes ago. Well, you said the statement that you've never seen a single Studio Ghibli film.
No, not one.
Is there something you don't like about Japanese animation?
I saw Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's not anime. That's not even Japanese.
I know, but I love how people get real pissed when I say that. I didn't like anime growing up. I didn't like the style.
These movies, I feel like you'd be like the first person I think that would have watched these movies because they're so like. I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you. I was prejudiced against anime as a kid. Like,
It's interestingly told. They're all original stories.
As a kid...
Oh, I see what happened here. So the same way that I refused to watch stop motion as a kid, like James and the Giant Peach or Nightmare Before Christmas, is the same way you were prejudiced against anime.
It just looked weird to me. I don't know what to tell. Like, I didn't.
That's what I told you about stop motion. That's why I didn't watch it.
As a kid,
looked weird.
I've started to ingest some anime. Technically, I'm easing my way into it, so to speak. Julio has been trying forever to get me to watch Full Metal Alchemist. The reactions. But he fucking swears. Like, literally, one time I was at his house, and he like put it on, like, watch this shit. And I'm like, then we got into like a 20-minute argument because I'm like, oh, it's magic. And he's like, no, it's alchemy. And I'm like, what's the difference? And he's like, well, alchemy's this. And I'm like, that sounds like fucking magic. So yeah, we just went back and forth for that.
Are you kidding me? That's really where the conversation went?
That's most me and Julio's conversations.
Really?
Yeah.
And honestly, Julio has no right telling you to watch things. He hasn't seen anything.
I know, but he adores anime.
That's
I
all
remember in
watches.
5th grade, he was all crazy about fucking Naruto. Oh god, he was always doing the hand signals. I don't know what they're called, but he's crazy.
He made me
shit.
watch Naruto. No, similarly to what you were just saying, there was this one time I went over to his apartment because at one point we were living like across away from each other, and he just put on fucking Naruto, and I'm like, that's not really what I came here to do, but okay, all right,
Yeah.
Fucking
And so,
nerd.
like, when everyone was going crazy about Dragon Ball Z, I was just like, I don't care. What's a Dragon
Well, at the
Ball?
time, it
What's
was
a
like
Z?
Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, so I obviously went towards the Sailor Moon. So
I went to
then it
neither,
also
but
just
yeah.
it had a movie, so
It's also strange because a lot of the Dragon Ball Z stuff was really from the late 90s, and it took a while to dub them into English, and then they were broadcast in the, I think, early 2000s when that was, really, really popular.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm easing my way into anime. From what I've seen, I like. But I don't know if you guys have seen any of the anime that I've seen, so I don't know.
Well, the one I recommend with, about Studio Ghibli, like, Spirited Away. That's, I think, the one I think you should start with. That one's just, maybe too much of a high bar, but it is a magnificent movie.
or
Or
just watch them
you
in
could-
order. I think that would be best because I feel like
The lore?
starting with
There's no lore. There's
I
no
feel like
lore.
starting with
Studio
Spirited
Ghibli's
Away
lore.
is like setting the bar too high.
Maybe.
Okay, I
It
recommend.
won the Oscar, right? Didn't it win Best Animated Feature? I believe it did for 2001. It might have beaten Lilo and Stitch,
I think
if I recall correctly.
Ponyo or Kiki's Delivery Service. I think that's a good start off point.
And they're all available on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Although HBO Max is not on Roku or Amazon Fire Stick, which is pretty stupid. So who knows if you'll be able to see it.
No, but yeah, Sailor Moon. Woo.
So explain this. So is this a movie version, or is this like an extended episode made into a movie from the Sailor Moon series?
It's called the movie.
So, and it is anime, not live action.
it's anime.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's like how Pokemon started off with our first movie.
Again, I think...
Mhm.
It didn't start off with the movie. Pokemon the movie came out after this. Okay, you got me geeking out about Pokemon.
That's a great
Sorry.
movie too,
That's
though. Like,
Pokemon?
It is, but Pokemon the movie wasn't the first thing Pokemon. There was like a whole thing before. Okay,
Yeah.
Fucking
sorry,
nerd.
you got me going there.
Did they catch them all?
No. One of the things that also turned me off from anime is I'd try to watch it, and I'm like,
where do we start?
none of this makes sense. Like...
A lot of anime also runs forever
But
and ever.
it's like
and ever,
crazy.
by the way.
Like Sailor Moon. Explain Sailor Moon to me.
I don't want to because you're gonna shit on it.
Just explain. Because this is what I mean. Like, I try to get into it, and it's just like... It confused me as a kid. Like, there's just so much. And it's... yeah.
So, it's these sailor guardians that are basically like reincarnated into the earth because they got attacked. Their powers are
See, this is what I mean.
their powers are from...
I think that was a very unfair of Peter to give you a trick question like that. You know, anime isn't simple to explain.
It is. I just don't want to say it because he's gonna make fun of it.
It's just weird.
Because it's literally the cheesiest thing ever, and like...
But that's good though. Peter likes cheese.
Explain it. Go. No, don't hold back. Go.
Okay, they're reincarnated into Earth. They later on find out that they're like these like special not human, but like, you know, they're guardians of each planet. Like Sailor Moon is the guardian of the moon, blah blah blah. And there's other sailors, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Mars, whatever. And then.
Okay, you know what? I have a premise here. That way, I'll just. Because you're struggling there. All right, this is what it says about Sailor Moon. The magical action adventures of a teenage girl who learns of her destiny as a legendary warrior Sailor Moon and must band together with the other Sailor Scouts to defend the Earth and galaxy.
Okay, because when I watch like clippets of it, there's like a talking cat. There's a magician who shows up every now and then.
He's not a magician, and he doesn't even have magic.
Like, it's like
he's the Earth King.
But this is what happens. Like, I'll read about an anime, like, okay, I think I can kind of wrap my head around it, and then I start watching. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting it, and then boom, it's like the trees are actually can talk. And their souls are the souls of babies from a third dimension, and the third dimension is actually ruled over by an evil cat, and it's like I don't know.
But that's part of anime. That kind of really eccentric, and a lot of anime is really rooted in kind of overt spirituality of some sort, and they really do get out there with a lot of the concepts and, of course, the designs of it. But why is that a bad thing?
It just, as a kid, it was just difficult to wrap my head around, especially because it wasn't just, it was both the animation and then it's like, okay, what is this world about? What's going on? What's this? And it's like, okay, I kind of get, like, Pokemon, I get it, you know? The concept makes sense to me. You know, you want to catch all the Pokemon because they're basically
he wants to be the very best.
Pokemon are like these little pocket monsters. They catch them and they use them to fight each other. And then, you know, Team Rocket's trying to foil them, but they suck ass. So it's like, okay. And then they go on their little adventure.
That's right.
I kind of okay. But then there's other enemies where it's just like boom, 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 and it's like what? But there is anime I've started watching and it's like, okay, like this, I like it, you know. I like Ghost in the Shell, the film. I've been watching the
wait, which one?
The original.
Not the Scarlett Johansson one that came.
I said anime, not freaking the original film.
Live action adaptions of anime.
I like the Castlevania show on Netflix.
Hold on real quick. This is important. Did we really not talk about the fact that they tried to make Scarlett Johansson look more Asian in that movie? Like, is that just something that we just ignored when that story was happening?
Because no one watched the movie, so.
Kyle watched it.
Did you watch it? Oh,
yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I did. Because I was trying to do what you do. You watch every movie of that year.
I don't watch every movie. If I don't like a movie, I'm not watching.
But yeah. Also, by the way, Scarlett Johansson, like her character started off Asian, and they literally whitewashed her.
What do you mean?
Her character, she was Asian, and they turned her character white.
Oh. Well, that makes it better.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a story for, yeah.
For another day. Okay. Let's get a little... let's get a little comical a little bit. X-Men. Let's talk about X-Men.
Oh man, I freaking love this movie. This is my favorite. This is my favorite superhero movie.
X-Men?
Yeah. Till this day,
Back in habit?
after Endgame, it's still my favorite superhero.
Pray tell.
I want to say that I watched this before Spider-Man.
You did.
Well, it came out
But,
before
like,
Spider-Man.
I didn't watch it when it came out.
Obviously.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say you did.
I don't know. I don't know. My favorite character was Rogue for reasons. But I also really like the frog guy.
This is your favorite comic movie because you like the frog guy. You mean Toad?
No, I don't know. I like, yes, Toad. I liked, it was just like people that have like abilities.
Superpowers.
They're not superpowers. Abilities and the whole like discrimination thing, which was, relevant.
I gotta admit, I love the supervillain plot of that movie.
Yeah.
Which
like, I like that it's such like a real story and it's relevant but like it's a superhero movie.
Do you guys remember the Magneto's plot to that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like it had, it has ties with Auschwitz.
No. Okay, so you don't.
No.
You don't. That's fine. His plan was to turn the leaders of the world. It was like some UN summit to turn them into mutants using what's her name?
Oh, the villain. That kind of plan. That story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
continue.
But
it was using Rogue,
but like the machine could have killed Rogue, and then the machine also, as they saw from Senator Kelly, could have killed all the leaders in the world. But I like it's such an interesting, because he's not trying to kill them, he's trying to turn them into a mutant, to sort of force the hand.
Feels like.
Yeah. Like Sabretooth. No, it's a good one. It was made at a time when like people were like, superheroes, what are you, a baby? Because they had to wear cool black leather and be badass, but it wasn't like yellow. It was more than that though. Ultimately, like they really did stick to the heart of X-Men, those kind of issues that they dealt with. Yeah. So you watch it a lot?
Yeah, I watched it a lot. My dad showed it to me, and I don't know, I just really liked it. And then I remember watching the second one in the movie, like when it came out. But that one freaked me out.
Really? I remember watching X2 X-Men United in the movie theaters and being blown away by the opening to that movie. Like literally blown away. As freaking Nightcrawler just like,
dude, oh my god,
runs
Nightcrawler
through the White House
was like my nightmare. David had this like action figure of Nightcrawler. It was so scary. I made him throw it away.
Was he in that movie? I thought he was in X2.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Keep up now.
I thought we were talking about X-Men 1, the one that, came out first.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I really like this movie. I think all the characters are great. I think, dude, I feel like this is like the first one where they got the characters to match the comic book characters, like, to a T. Like, I literally can't picture anybody else play Logan.
Well, it's no secret that this movie is, for lack of a better word, revolutionary for the genre. Because I think it was the first kind of movie that took what the core essence of what the comic characters were, translated them on screen as best they possibly could, and it doesn't, hurt that you get some pretty great actors in them. And I think, to me, what I most remember about the film, and to this day, I think the legacy of the movies that began with X-Men, brilliant Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. I mean, talk about inspired choices to play him. And you can just tell that in one of the first scenes in that film, when they have that initial confrontation, the history that's there between them. Like, those two are, honestly, I think to this day, easily some of the best performances, and I'm talking about in totality, not just in that film, of any kind of comic book movie. By the way,
this is also kind of off topic, but I think the idea of, like, when Marvel reboots X-Men in, like, 2052 at this point, the idea of having Magneto and Charles Xavier be black and, like, maybe tie their history to, like, the civil rights movement or something like that, I think is a really cool sort of reinterpretation and update.
I hadn't heard of that, but having heard of that just now, how can you not do that?
I think that's awesome.
Because this X-Men film and that franchise perfectly really drew from real world events to illustrate their backstory and who they were as characters. And the problem that I think that we all kind of feel is, what the fuck is Kevin Feige going to do that comes anywhere close to what Bryan Singer did? Now, of course, I don't want to mention the whole Singer or whatever, but separating that from him, how? And what Peter just said, and again, just like absorbing this in real time, that could be great. The problem, though, is, does Disney have the balls to do something like that right now?
I'd hope. Well, it wouldn't be right now. Like I said, it'd probably be a while. But
I think we would think in the next 5 or so years.
That's the hope.
We get an announcement, something like that.
Holy shit! There's a ghost.
I think that's a great thing.
It's just my dog. It came from a really unique time too, because like we mentioned, like, superhero films weren't taken as seriously back then. The
only ones I think that were taken seriously must have been Blade, right? That came out before X-Men.
Even then, but like X-Men, it really turned the tide, and like X-Men walked so Raimi's Spider-Man could run, kind of thing. And then like we kind of took what we could get. I mean, I remember talking to Peter about like the Fantastic Four films that came out, and like how that was our shit, because like we saw a superhero film and we were like, oh, cool, this is cool. The Thing, like the way he looks,
the fact that it's a thing that exists is like good enough. And
that was always my thought. Yes. Like, this exists. This is the greatest thing ever. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But like the X-Men, like, it really started like the whole big superhero blockbuster kind of thing. And like, honestly, there would be no MCU or any talks of an MCU if it weren't for the start of what X-Men did. It's left a lasting impact. Hugh Jackman, or Huge Jack Man, he, like, the legacy of these characters, Patrick Stewart, you mentioned before, it's just like this big thing that I think lasted in not only like superhero films but movie history in itself. This really started a big era.
It did, and I think up until that point, let's say late 90s, early 2000s, there was still a real question to be had amongst the industry about, could this wellspring of massive comics lore, there was still an open question about, okay, some have worked like Batman and Superman, but
they were still
can
very
this really
comically.
translate? That's the thing. Could this really translate into live action setting where audiences would take the craft seriously because of the the big costumes and the colors? And X-Men really applied. There's some visceral scenes that I recall from that movie that are just like top-notch filmmaking, like the scene of Magneto as a kid in a concentration camp. We all remember that sequence. But even to that point, though, there was only so much they can get away with because the costumes are always been a big point of contention because they're all just black leather. Is that what it was?
Black leather. Yeah, there was like, and they even like made like a joke about like about it being yellow, and they were like, "Ha, funny." It's just like one of those things. And then it made like it was Dark Knight before Dark Knight was a thing. Like Nolan's films is like, because it was so hashtag dark and edgy, that everybody was like, "Oh, this ain't your dad's X-Men," and but over the years, like, it embraced its kind of campiness, like X-Men First Class. They wore straight up yellow outfits, but like this needed to work, otherwise the rest of the not only franchise but what this movie would set forward unintentionally going forward would get right. So X-Men, it's good. Also, the poster was really sleek, like that chrome X was really nice with the silhouettes of the characters. I think that was amazing marketing, I think. Yeah, really good film. None of the things that a lot of the things that we really enjoy, like think about comic book movies like that are so different now, like Logan, Into the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy, that wouldn't have happened if that all kind of was a thing because of X-Men and the success that it had. Even to a certain extent, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man,
of course,
too.
Yes, all of it.
You like how we tried to ignore Sam Raimi's Spider-Man? That piece of shit.
You mean the franchise that I, have already expressed such love for? Of course, yeah, because I would do that on purpose. Go ahead, Alexis.
No, I remember like at the time when Last Stand came out, I didn't, because I never really like read I never really read comic books. It was more so just like watching the movies. So I never understood like the hate that movie got when it came out.
The Last Stand? The Last Stand is not...
It's not the worst thing. And this is the thing, though. There's so many movies that people swore were the worst thing in the world. And I go back and watch them, and I'm like, you guys are kind of, like, really overreacting. You praise the fuck out of films of, like, similar quality today. But you still swear these films are the worst thing ever. Like, I don't know. I think that's so weird to me.
Well, 2007 was a year because I think it was both The Last Stand, right, and then Spider-Man 3, which even in today's circles are regarded as some of the most
frowned upon of the third films that have come out.
Well, some of the most frowned upon comic book movies ever made. Both of those movies.
It was a big year for threes, right? We had Spider-Man 3, we
Pirates
had Last
3.
Stand, at World's End came out. It was a big year for threes.
Shrek the Third was also that year, which was and none of them got good reviews.
Gross.
Across the board, none of those movies got good reviews. Shrek, Pirates, Spider-Man, or X-Men.
Shrek the Third is horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty crap. I hate that one. I enjoyed the rest though, and I will say this for The Last Stand, they actually had the balls to do some shit that they killed off quite a bit of people, and it wasn't no like LOL JK. It was like pretty definitive.
You did.
Yeah, like that's dead. Like fuck Scott, right? Like
yeah,
didn't work. I think ultimately,
the fact that they did it,
they had the balls to do it.
Okay, they killed Charles.
There's Well, if you're excluding the end credit scene of that movie.
No one stayed till the end at that time.
But there are still some scenes that I think is really awesome, like him taking the bridge.
Oh yeah, where he lifts the bridge.
That's such a strong.
The one that always like stuck in my head was when Wolverine was like walking to Jean, and he just kept like
like his skin would like come off and stuff, and like Beast was, and it's
amazing. Hilarious. Go ahead, Peter. No, yeah, it's hilarious to think that how much hatred there was toward Last Stand, when even among X-Men movies, it's nowhere near the worst at this point.
Nope.
No. Like, I don't know. These same people praise the fuck out of Venom, but you want to talk shit about Spider-Man 3: The Last Stand? Sit the fuck down. I'm sorry. Get fucked.
Spider-Man 3, honestly, is like, maybe it's just nostalgia, like not nostalgia, but just like, rose-colored goggles about it. But I really, really think that was a really good film. Maybe not great, of course, not as great as the first two, but I thought it was a really good closer to that trilogy, and it had its own good aspects to it. And I think it says so much, not just in our circle of film talk, but maybe about our culture, that so much of what sunk that movie was based off the stupid dance. And I say stupid not like I hate it, but like how people just took that scene and just like used it as like the example for why that movie quote unquote sucks.
It's how they use I'm going back to but how people use.
It wasn't me, guys. It wasn't me.
No, how people use
wasn't Peter for once.
Leia using the Force. In that movie.
God, that really is something where I'm like, I don't know. God, I see fuck you, Alexys. You're making me fall back into this. We were doing
so well,
but yeah,
we were an hour and 45 minutes.
That really is one of those things where I just look at it. I'm like, do you people even like Star Wars? Like, you're complaining about the most Star Warsy stuff, but like the whole thing was like they didn't do Venom right in Spider-Man 3. It needs to be exactly like in the comics. It's like, okay, shut the fuck up, bitch. Just watch the movie. It's a different movie.
Yeah. And I will say this, and this may be controversial to say, but Spider-Man 3, just on that movie, I'm not even sure most of the MCU movies coming out in the next like 3 or 4 years are going to be anywhere near as good.
And I said it before, like, people want to talk shit about that movie. I think it's better than over half of the MCU. I really do.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's so ridiculous. But again, it's that thing where like narratives are created and then people just continue to follow them.
You have James Franco at his most Franco-est.
That's movie. Like peak Franco. But like I'll see like a lot of I feel like people build up narratives and then they just feel they need to follow them. Because I'll see like I've seen a couple videos of The Last Jedi where like people watch the film for the first time and they're like, I'm ready to see crap, and then they watch it and then they're just like, I kind of liked it, like I don't know. Like and it's like, yeah, like just watch a movie, like don't follow any narrative about a film, because I guarantee you the only opinion that's going to matter is your own when it comes to film.
Yeah. Little X-Men confession before we move on. That was my first X-Men movie. Last Stand.
Oh, really?
You're watching movies like Alexys now.
X-Men.
Join the club.
X-Men: The Last Stand was my first one. I was like, oh, okay. And I went back and watched the other ones.
Juggernaut, bitch.
Following up. I had no idea. Yeah, like that line was like amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's like one of the most perfect lines in it. But yeah.
Oh, I hated that they recasted Mystique, because I freaking loved her in the first three. I was sad.
Oh yeah.
When did they recast her? Are you talking about First Class?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
What I think is so funny is Jennifer Lawrence clearly hated every second making those fucking movies and like being Mystique.
I hated that they gave her like that storyline. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked her as the villain.
Oh yeah, she was great when she's slipping and sliding everywhere, just kicking people in the face.
Yeah. Let's talk about the comedy classic Hot Chick.
Oh god. Okay, yeah. You need to tell me what's up with this.
Wait. Okay. You don't like this movie?
Oh wait, okay, you're seriously asking that question? Oh my god.
I feel like this was like Mean Girls before Mean Girls.
Do you think a lot of people liked this movie?
I love this movie. I don't understand. Well, I haven't met a lot of people that watch this movie.
I'll put it this way, that like I could never ever seriously like review a Happy Madison film, because even the absolute shittiest of the shitty of the Happy Madison, which is most of them, I just have such a soft spot for. It's
I hate those movies.
They're like comfort food to me. Well, you like the Hot Chick, which is like probably one of the worst. I accidentally knocked my microphone. But yeah, so it's like the Hot Chick. I think I remember watching it like 12, 13 or something like that, and being like, yeah, this is a Rob Schneider movie. I don't know. I mean, so you really loved it?
Okay, the thing about this movie is that this was like I said, this is Mean Girls before Mean Girls to me. Me and my cousin, all of my cousins watched this movie like so many times, and it was just like our go-to movie. So that's why I really like it.
Weird choice.
Oh.
What about it was so alluring to you?
I don't know. We liked it. We thought it was funny. I don't know, like, how people quote Mean Girls all the time, that's what we would do with this movie.
Wait, okay, throw some quotes at me.
The song that they do, like the hand thing, all of the stuff that, like, the Mean Girls say, all the things that the dad says are so stupid, but they're so funny. Yeah.
I just, like, remember the pillow fight.
Oh, yeah.
This is the dumbest thing in the world.
I know, but I like it.
Okay. I think I saw it once, and it was like at 1 a.m. and it aired on Comedy Central. And I was like, well, that was one way to spend 1 a.m. in the morning. But you like it. It's okay. I guess. All right. Any other thoughts on Hot Chick?
Clearly not.
Wait, Alexis, have you seen the Hot Chick? He doesn't even want to talk about it. He's waving his finger. You seen what you've done to him? This is one that I did not expect, and I almost guarantee will not be on anyone else's, but I mean, like, if I'm thinking Rob Schneider, okay, I don't know if I have any Rob Schneider films that I like, but like Adam Sandler, like I'm thinking Daddy Daycare, 50 First Dates.
I don't like
Daddy Daycare?
Not Daddy Daycare, Big Daddy. Big Daddy,
yeah.
50 First Dates, The Wedding Singer. Like, those are my shit right there.
Someone kill me.
I'm on.
I mean, I love the wedding scene, but like the rest of the movie,
I want to
like
die.
even 50 First Dates. Like,
You don't like 50 First Dates? Oh, I love 50 First Dates.
That's one of the few I actually really enjoy.
I love that one.
So I just had to make sure that you were talking about the movie that I think
this
you
is
were talking
okay.
about.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of those moments where you really try and understand why. Like, I've never seen this movie in its entirety, and I'm not gonna go as far as to say that I hate it because I've never watched it. I think at one point I have this memory of flipping through channels, and then I saw that, okay, so Rob Schneider, and then it just like, okay, I think I switched it off like not even 2 minutes because
it's the one where he turns into
found
a girl.
Yeah, well, I mean,
not to be confused with the one where he turns into a goat. The Animal.
Is that real?
Do you remember that one?
I've never seen that one.
Where he's infused with animal DNA, so he acts like an animal, and like he very nearly like fucks a goat.
No.
Man, those Rob Schneider movies, they were something.
Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
They're cultural landmarks.
What can you... Oh my god. The hot chick. Really, really interesting choice.
I think that's easily going to be the most interesting choice of anyone's list.
And only Alexys Moreno would put it. Sleeping Beauty.
To be fair, I don't even care about Mean Girls either. And that may be sacrilegious to say.
Mean Girls makes sense.
I'm sorry, I have a hard time really giving a shit when everybody is just incredibly stupid or irritating or the scum of the earth or disgusting. So and even in that kind of fashion, it's just, maybe it's not so much that, it's just that if I find everyone annoying, I'm not gonna watch your movie. And maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
Oh.
I mean, I
and
like,
Rob Schneider,
I'm not. I see why people don't like this movie, but it's just like, it was something that me and my cousins would do all the time. And
I don't even get Mean Girls, so I'm not even gonna begin judging. I don't know.
But
the same way people think Scott Pilgrim's great,
and he had the nerve to attack my Disney list.
I mean, the same way people think Fantasia.
Exactly. Wrong on all counts on your part. Yes, I agree.
You're wrong.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. The Hot Chick.
Really? Rob Schneider is
apparently
the hot chick.
Hot chick. Okay. Sleeping Beauty. Before we get to the big one.
Isn't there two animated?
That
Was it this one, The Little Mermaid?
Nope. It was this one.
It was just this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mermaid was never
never
mentioned.
mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was X-Men, Borrowers, Pee-wee, Alice, Sleeping Beauty, Nightmare Before Christmas, Sailor Moon, Grease, Willy Wonka, Hot Chick, and El Santa Claus.
Oh, is that the last one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleeping Beauty. I mean, she was my favorite princess growing up.
The most boring Disney princess.
And she was your favorite.
She even puts herself to sleep.
Oh my god.
On fire.
Are you okay?
I don't know. No, I'm not okay. I never am. That's the answer to your question.
I don't know. This is just another one that I would watch a lot. this is the one where I would make my brother dance. I would dress up because I had the costume, and then once the song came on, I would make him, there's a video of me, like, standing up and, like, dragging him to go dance with me.
Your poor brother.
Yeah.
He just wanted to see Pee-wee.
Yeah. Probably.
The most important question, is your brother okay?
But yeah, I don't know, I just really liked this movie when I was little. And it was kind of scary to me too. Like the part when she shows up like in the fireplace. Like, that's kind of creepy. When you're little.
There's a dragon.
The dragon is a really scary design in that one as well, so I could see why. Any other thoughts on Sleeping Beauty? I have no other thoughts.
I feel like we've talked a lot about the Disney.
Yeah.
Well, when we did the princess list, right?
Yeah.
If you want to know, if you're a Sleeping Beauty fanatic, there's the Disney Princess Movies ranked episode on Fantasy Fair, as well as an entire Once Upon a retrospect devoted to that movie on Fantasy Fair. So if you're a Sleeping Beauty fan, you can go over there.
Yeah. So let's go to the month of December and talk about the joys of Christmas and Satan.
Okay.
Good God. Okay, let me address this one thing. Okay, so Moreno and I were talking about like Christmas movies and all that stuff. I think we were preparing to do
the Santa Claus movies.
The Santa Claus movies on Once Upon a Retrospect for Christmas, and the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies. And she brought this up, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And she's like, "Here, watch this. It's the full thing is on YouTube." I was like, "Oh my God, okay." And I just saw the thumbnail, and it looked horrifying. And I was just like, "Am I watching?" It's like you entered into like a snuff film. Like, you know, you guys heard of the phenomenon called Two Girls, One Cup. I think that this is scarier. Jokes, of course, because that was revolting. But
wow, don't kink shame.
I watched 30 minutes of this movie, like trying to see like, and also I don't speak a lick of Spanish, unfortunately.
You're a bad Mexican.
How many years of Spanish did you get in high school?
One.
I had to take 2.
You have to take at least 2.
Everybody had 2 years.
I don't know how I managed, but I only took 1.
White privilege.
Exactly. You know what? Thank you. That is the definition of white privilege. Fuck off with that shit. You know the irony of it is? We already knew Spanish, and we had to take 2 fucking years.
And that shit was hard.
God.
Like, the higher levels of Spanish was fucking hard. And I already knew Spanish.
Oh my God, right. Spanish grammar, Spanish advanced. Like, I had Spanish 3 and 4. That shit was like above and beyond, like harder than what it had to be. And then meanwhile, you guys had to learn like azul, verde, rojo, amarillo.
You should have just lied when they tested you.
Fuck, I wanted to.
You should have. Like, it wouldn't have changed anything.
Rojo.
Really did.
That's red, right?
Fuck off.
But anyway, she had me watch this movie. I only got through 30 minutes of it because like I didn't understand what was going on, so that kind of like added to like not knowing the context and kind of being like terrible, because like the imagery is terrifying to say the least. I can't even describe to you what the images I saw. Somehow Satan is involved, and it's just like it's weird. It's just
do you want
really
to explain it,
movie.
Moreno?
Okay,
Moreno?
So it is about this little girl. Okay, no, it's like kind of hard. This movie is a really old movie. It came out in 1959. It's an old Mexican movie. so it has like all of like the old traditions and stuff. Santa Claus, he's like going over his list, blah blah blah. He's looking for the good children, the bad children, this and that. And then you have Satan, who is in charge of, or is given the task of going and turning kids into troublemakers.
Oh my god, I just found a still image of it. This looks amazing.
Oh
Look
my
at this.
god. Oh my god.
Look at that. I'm holding up my phone to the audience. I mean, to my panelists here. And this is a still image from the movie that Alexys is talking about. And it is somebody dressed in full Satan garb, like full on red, horns. This is a Christmas movie.
Pointing at a little girl.
So right there, he's like whispering into her ear, like steal a doll.
It looks like he's going like, "You're next, bitch." Like
basically,
it looks very threatening.
And then, so he's trying to turn like all the good kids bad, but then there's like that little girl where she's like, no, like you have to be good, blah blah blah. And then you have Santa Claus, and like Satan like traps him, like there's like a dog like trying to attack him, kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas-esque, where like he gets trapped in the cemetery. And then in the end, like it's the little girl, and she's like, she gets her doll. There's like so much like scary imagery, not just that. Like she gets like this nightmare that he like implants into her head, that Satan implants into her head, of like the like people in like doll costumes, but like this is 1959, so you can only imagine.
Alexys, stop. That's horrible.
Stop. I need to sleep tonight. I can't. Okay, hold on. So you would watch this and you have the audacity to say any other kids film is scary?
No, I'm not saying that this is fun for me. This is terrifying. But
who let you watch this?
That's what I'm trying to get to. I would spend Christmas
in
Tijuana with my cousins. And like my mom, she is from Mexico, so this is like what they would watch. This was like their A Christmas Story, or what's that movie? With the gun?
The Christmas Story.
That's
the gun?
Yeah, shoot your eye out, kid. That's a Christmas
this was
story.
like our Christmas Story movie. Like we would watch it during Christmas, like I don't know. But it was really scary to me. But I don't know, it was just like our tradition.
And you were cool with it?
No. It was terrifying. I'm trying to tell you, it was terrifying. But like now I look at it, I look back on it, and I'm just like, and it's like cool memories to have, because it's just like
but you never tried to tell your parents at the time, like, listen, this is
but I would watch it with my cousins. Like my cousins were the ones that would put it on.
And you never told them, like, guys, please.
No, we all say it, that this movie's like terrifying.
What the fuck?
Also, in that Alexys Soto is showing us the poster of said movie, and Santa looks like a drunk old man at a bar.
Yeah, no, this movie is wild. The quote unquote elves are children from around the world. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what? Okay, so there's Asian children here. Where's the elves? And then Moreno was like explaining I think I was watching it on my iPad,
I think so.
And then Moreno was
okay. This is because I really wasn't understanding what the hell was happening. So this is a 1959 Mexican fantasy film. She was just saying that, but more detail on this. In the film, Santa works in outer space.
Why?
Okay,
I don't know.
In the film, Santa works in outer space and does battle with a demon named Pitch.
Does battle.
Pitch. I don't know.
Sent to Earth by Lucifer to ruin Christmas by killing Santa and making all the children of the earth do evil.
God damn.
Yep. I would love it if you guys would watch this movie because
I don't know
wild.
if I would love it. I feel
it's wild.
It
Moreno,
sounds like this is.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Do we need to assign you to a therapist?
The movie might be cursed. It might be like The Ring. I don't know if I want to watch it.
No. In the end, like the little girl
die in 7
gets
days.
her doll, and like, but in the end, it's like a really sweet moment because the little girl and her family, they're like shit poor. And she's like, oh, like, where's my doll type of thing. But like, she's like really sweet about it. And the mom's like, basically saying like, oh, I'm sorry, like, we didn't get you anything. And cause I guess like in her dream or whatever, Santa Claus gave her a doll. So she's like, no, like my doll's like by the door, like outside the door. And then she goes out and she grabs it and she's like, look, like, it's my doll. And like the parents, like, look out the window and they see like Santa Claus and they're like, thank you.
This is basically Jingle All the Way.
I'm reading more information here that the film was considered to be a financial success over several holiday season theatrical releases in the 1960s and 70s. The broadcast of the film also became a holiday tradition at several U.S. television stations. The film garnered at least one award. Wow. Winning the Golden Gate Award for Best International Family Film at the San Francisco International Film Festival in 1959.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever gotten into, like, Mexican cinema. Like, this is what it is.
No.
Like,
no.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, like, scary imagery and stuff, but, like, the heart of the movie is basically, like, you know, just to be good.
So it's a family movie, but
scary
with Satan in it.
And that's a lot of Mexican cinema, like, you know, good versus evil, religion, like, you know, demons and shit. Like, that's what it is.
I gotta tell you, I never heard of something like that before. Never seen something like that before. I think that I even saw that there was a Santa Claus movie with Martians.
Martians. Oh, no.
Yeah, Santa Claus versus the Martians. It's a B movie. One of those things. There's a lot of movies with Santa Claus in it.
Kiss Save Santa. Nobody remembers that? Okay, fine. Fuck it. Go ahead.
But yeah, you guys should watch it.
We could do that for Christmas programming this year, since I mean, or Halloween programming.
It's more fitting for Halloween.
You gotta get one with subtitles.
Have you guys seen El Chavo del Ocho? It looks like that.
Yes.
Like the camera and stuff, like that's how it looks. Like grainy and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, it's yeah, it's
I don't
really
know.
old.
It's just it completely like freaked me the fuck out. Like I couldn't watch it for like I only watched it like that one day because it just like, and I hated talking about it because it freaked me out. But like I said, now
it definitely should leave an impact on you. I'll tell you that. That you don't forget that imagery.
But and I mean maybe that's like the point of the movie too, to scare kids to be good.
Or else Satan will get you.
But
which, to be fair, a lot of Mexicans are that. At least from what I remember in my childhood. That's
like, forget freaking lumps of coal in your stockings. Holy shit.
For all eternity.
But it wasn't like that. Like, he didn't, like, torture them. He would, like, it's like having, like, the devil on your shoulder type of thing. Like, he would whisper, like, oh, you should throw this rock.
Yeah, but, like, if you've been to church, which, if you're Mexican, if you can speak, you probably understand the whole devil situation.
No, yeah.
Then you connect the dots.
But, like, what I'm saying is that that's what they were, like, it's not that,
yeah,
like,
obviously they don't show,
you know,
like, I'm gonna skin you children alive.
Yeah.
Like, but by the very fact that it's the devil, there's implied eternal damnation.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it before on the similarities between yours and Peter's list. So far, there's 2 Christmas movies. One is similar, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Santa Claus and Jingle All the Way.
I don't think it's similar at all.
They're both about achieving a toy.
No. No.
And there's a red character in there. One's a Turbo Man and the other one's
the devil. But no.
Both have
Santa Claus.
And then
Merlin comes out.
Who?
Merlin comes out.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing Stark images of that.
What the fuck is this movie?
He lives with Santa Claus, and he gives
the wizard?
him
sorcerer.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
He gives him like this little like dust thing. Like if kids are awake when he goes to their house, he like blows the dust thing in their faces and like they fall asleep. And he gives them like a special key to like go in. And like I think like other things like to make him fit in the chimney, I think.
So Merlin lives with Santa Claus, but there's no Mrs. Santa Claus.
Whoa.
Okay.
There's more than magic that's happening at the North Pole.
I want to say in Mexican culture there's no Mrs. Santa Claus. At least I've never heard anybody talking about it.
That opens up a can of worms. Let's not go there. Let's not go there, because it just, I mean, an interesting question. Why wouldn't there? Since I mean, a lot of Mexican culture is rooted in very conservative religious corners, and the fact that there's the absence of a Mrs. Claus,
it's okay.
What we're saying is Santa
I'm not
is
sure
gay.
Is in the interest.
Confirmed. He has Merlin, and
his life partner.
That's all the magic.
Known as Merlin.
That's all the magic he needs in his life. Yeah.
They never, they can't have children, so they can consider the children of the world their children.
And then they have this like obviously it's a super old movie, so like the props and all that is gonna be fucking weird. But they have this thing, so it's kind of like how he looks at like if children are good or bad, but he has like this telescope thing. It's like this huge thing that goes like, cause he kind of lives like in a space station type of thing. And at the end of the telescope, there's like a giant eye.
I don't know. You guys, the way that this movie painted out and the way it looks, it sounds like Santa Claus is a bit pedophilic.
And then they have like this other machine that like it talks, but I can't remember what exactly it says, but it's like 2 like eyeballs and then just like giant ass lips, and like the lips are like they're like Bratz lips, and then they're just like move up and down. It's fucking weird. But yeah,
good times.
Yeah. Now you guys know my trauma as to why I'm like fucking scared of everything.
This is why you hate Christmas.
Explains everything. This is the backstory of one Alexys Moreno. Here we go.
Yeah, it seems as if these episodes are doing what they're supposed to. They're kind of exposing
you people.
Some stuff.
Your childhood was space demons and the hot chick.
The hot chick
that sounds like
came a little bit later, like towards the last years.
That sounds like a movie, actually. Space demons and the hot chick. Let's make it happen.
It probably has happened, but it's not the kind of film that would get a theatrical release.
No. Anyway, final thoughts, Moreno?
It would be fun if you guys watch this movie, but I understand if you don't, because it's really scary.
I've done my time.
I will.
But, like, it's different with you because you didn't understand what was going on.
Try. There will be effort put in.
Alexys Soto, do you want to take us home, buddy?
So that was an episode. And I would hope that we, as the rest of us, have learned a lot about a lot of the inner traumas of one Alexys Moreno. I guess that explains why when I showed her the cover of Hereditary, she screamed. I don't blame you whatsoever. That imagery was horrifying.
Yep.
It's interesting though, because while Peter is correct when he says that there is a certain logic as to like myself and Kyle and Peter, like, oh, of course, like you would like that kind of movie. I'm not sure if this list really helped gauge that with you. Because there's still some pretty random things that I just can't anticipate whether or not you'll love it or hate it.
No,
like a lot of, and to be honest, like a lot of the things that you claim to hate, why? I don't understand at all. So it's like, I'm not sure how much this helps, but
she's very much a wild card.
It explained her psyche.
I don't even know. It made me more confused.
Well, Peter's the one that I think for years and years, you think you would be at the point of being disturbed of how random Alexis's like,
because it doesn't make sense. I don't know when she's gonna like something or not. Because there's no order to what she likes.
Hence why
there's no Law and Order.
Alice in Wonderland. I think that's the main theme of my childhood. Just kooky.
And it's important to reiterate, in case it wasn't clear, it's important to reiterate, these are not her favorite movies as a kid. These are the films that made a clear impact on her. And perhaps, maybe that Santa Claus movie must have done you in. I don't know. That was... Fuck, man. Yeah, I'm curious to ask my parents if they're familiar with that movie. They might be, I don't know. Holy shit.
It's funny because, like, me and my cousins still talk about this movie. Like, we haven't watched it together in a long time.
Why would you watch it again?
Well, now, like, I watched it recently, like, for this. It's not as bad now. But, like, when I was little, this was just insane. But, like, they'll sometimes, like, send gifts in, like, the group chat that we have of the movie, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, the trauma just, like, hits me again. And it's, like, of Satan, so I'm just like, oh, crap.
I don't even know. Oh, man.
For once, the great Peter Martinez has no words.
No.
Well, that was Alexys Moreno. Thank you all for listening so much to this.
Before we go, who's going next? Me or you?
It probably you, Kyle. I don't have my list ready.
Why don't you have
Kyle
your
will be
list
back
ready?
next week on next Tuesday to talk about that. I want to remind you of all the other weekly shows that we have when it comes to Avatar. To the Table is back with Tron. Weekly Shield with David. And blah, 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 blah. Catch us all into the spotlight. And one final thing to add. We are officially moving away from Wooshka. I believe I announced that on another earlier podcast this week. Castbox.com is our new
Castbox.fm.
.fm. Sorry about it's late. Castbox.fm is the new home for our huge library. 5+ years of podcasts. Although the feed, and then there'll be new feeds, of course, if you listen on Apple or Spotify, wherever, they should already be up on the new feed. So, if for whatever reason you're having a hard time finding us, just Google that or go to Castbox and it should be pretty simple. And if you're listening on Wooshka, we'll be leaving on June 28th. And we'll permanently be on Castbox on that sort. So wanted to make sure that was mentioned. Thank you all for being here. Kyle, Alexis, Peter. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. See you under the spotlight. Bye-bye.